Alright, hello everyone. It is the end of the year, so you know what that means. This is the second annual Real Good Rasslin Awards. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing Pro Wrestling Awards. It is that time of year. I have gone, what we in the industry called fucko mode when it comes to watching pro wrestling, between the awards, which we'll be covering everything from December 1st, 2022 to December 1st, 2023. In that time, I have watched and reviewed 2,300 total matches from dozens of promotions, okay? Overall, it's been an incredible year for professional wrestling. WWE is doing some of their best work in a decade. AEW is still cooking. New Japan keeps on rebuilding themselves every single year as more and more talent of theirs gets swept up. They still somehow pull out bangers and an amazing Best of Super Juniors and amazing G1 Climax. The Mexican wrestling world is hitting a peak. CMLL is doing amazing. The American Indies is doing great with companies like GCW, DPW, Revolver, all popping off. Freaking the British wrestling scene is as healthy as it's been since pre NXT UK with Rev Pro and Progress up there. Freaking Japan, outside of New Japan, has been doing incredible. Noah with one of their most relevant years in a while. All Japan Pro Wrestling is so good. I know a lot of people are big fans of Dragon Gate. I love DDT. DDT has had a massive year. Overall, just Stardom and TJPW in the Joshi wrestling community. It, Overall, this has been an incredible year. Fucking TNA Impact is back. Ring of Honor has put on some damn good shows. So, yeah, 2023 has been a phenomenal year for professional wrestling, especially because for large portions of 2022, that was not the case. But so here we go. The most prestigious award in pro wrestling history. Okay, screw Dave Meltzer, screw freaking PWI, screw Brian Alvarez, or all these fake ass awards that are stolen and bought. No, this is real graps. Okay, so our first category, top 5 events. This is prestigious. Come on, look at that beautiful color scheme. Top 5 events, very simple. What are the best shows of the year? Number 5, AW Revolution. What the fuck is going on with you? Hold on. Oh, that's, oh, oh, whoa. Is that better? The most prestigious pro wrestling event is happening right now with this glorious PowerPoint. Look at that. Okay, that's better, I think. Yeah, sure. Number 5, AW Revolution. A fantastic card. AW post Brawl Out had a little run of like 6 months where they were like, screw it, we have to put on something fantastic. And that run from like Full Gear uh, to Revolution was fantastic. Alright, of course, the main event, Bryan Danielson, MJF, 60-minute Iron Man match, incredible feat of pro wrestling storytelling and cardio and pacing. Freaking the second best Texas Death Match of the year featuring Hangman Adam Page took place here with Jon Moxley. The tag and women's division were matches were, but everything else in the show was fantastic. Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks was another good one. And yeah, just incredible stuff. House of Black versus the Elite was like a 4.5 star match, and it still ends up being the third best on this card. AW were cooking. Next up, WrestleMania. Uh, Specifically night 1, but I'm counting both nights together. Some mistakes were definitely made with the main event, and the Cena match was bad, and Brock Lesnar fought freaking Omos. But when you look at the highlights, it's like, come on, man. Finn Balor basically died halfway through a Hell in a Cell match and just kept going. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens pulling off one of the greatest moments of pro wrestling storytelling this year against the Usos in the main event night one. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, crowning Rhea Ripley as the new monster of WWE's women's division. Freaking we got Bianca Belair. Who the hell is she fight? I don't remember. Oscar, yeah, great match. The IC triple threat between Drew and Gunther and Sheamus, that was fantastic. Freaking, even the tag team showcase matches were fun. This was overall an amazing show. Logan Paul was on it, and it still tracked my top 5. That's how good of a show this was. AW Dynamite from I think this is the January 11th, I believe, or maybe March 1st. January 11th, I think. This was just a insanely good card. I mean, you can see it right here. The first of the John Moxley versus Hangman matches, hard hitting, great. Death Triangle and the Elite in a ladder match. That was fun. Big Bill and Lee Moriarty versus Jungle Hook was an underrated uh, Texas Tornado match. Jamie Hayter was on the card, so that automatically gets +5 for me. Bryan Danielson, Konosuke Takeshita. Konosuke Takeshita at the height of his babyface run. Bryan Danielson going after the world title. Uh, AW Dynamite had no reason to give us this much good wrestling on a freaking free Wednesday. Number 2, Forbidden Door. Yeah, it's the two best companies in the world, putting on a bunch of talents. Okay, freaking Okada versus Danielson, Osprey versus Omega, the amazing 10-man tag team match. Tanahashi and MJF was fun. Like, come on, this you can't beat this. Come on. What else was on this card? Shit. Oh yeah, Tony Storm versus Rilla Nightingale. That was fun. Yeah, just all around a bunch of great stuff. Naito, Darby Allin, and Sting versus Chris Jericho, Minoru Suzuki, and Sammy Guevara. Yeah, just great stuff all around. Love this show. Number 1, it's AEW All In. I mean, I feel like I legally have to. A lot of people preferred All Out, which took place a week later. And yeah, that show is probably objectively better, but like, it's the biggest pro wrestling event of all time. Okay, there's a Stadium Stampede match. Adam Cole, MJF, Kenny Omega, Ibushi, and Hangman Page versus Takeshita, Jay White, and Juice Robinson. Uh, Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay. Saraya, sure, she kind of sucks at pro wrestling now, but her getting that win was nice. Um, Jungle Boy and Hook in a really fun pre-show match before, the incident happened. CM Punk versus Samoa Joe, for that matter. CM Punk's the last match CM Punk ever wrestled in AEW. Just plenty of incredible stuff. He bucks FTR3. Like, you can't top it, man. 81,000 people in the most historic stadium in the world. Yeah, this is people will say that AEW is on a downward trajectory, but like, I don't know, man. I don't see it. All right, our next category is the top 20 tag teams. Now, 2023 was a bit of a weird year for tag team wrestling. A lot of the big tag teams of 2022 are no longer together, and a lot of teams suffering injuries, untimely injuries. There wasn't one tag team that like had a year where had an entire calendar year's worth of like, oh, they're the best tag team in the world. There's definitely a couple teams that were fighting for that honor. Number 20 is Judgment Day. Um, all three of them, honestly. Uh, 2-time won the tag champs 2 times. Had great matches, even if they did them too often against Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Yeah, just Who would have thought this time last year that the Judgment Day would be one of the best acts in WWE? The thing, overexposure definitely harmed them. Just main eventing Raw with the same couple people 20 times this year, and like they're all good matches, but like it's the same match. Um, yeah, these three boys did some good wrestling. Number 19, it is Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney. These guys from New Japan. They're in the junior heavyweight tag team division. They've only been teaming for a little bit, so that's what's kind of keeping them down in the bottom of the list. But yeah, the Bullet Club's rebranding with the War Dogs. 50-50 with fans, but I really like it. Getting back to what Bull Club always was supposed to be, which was just foreign wrestlers being assholes, and these two are two of the best assholes in all Japanese pro wrestling right now. Number 18, Motor City Machine Guns. Big fall from last year's number 9 slot, but, they both Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin had their own stuff going on as singles wrestlers. Chris Sabin in the X division, Alex Shelley, of course, as Impact World Champion. So didn't team as much in as many high profile matches, but still solid work against ABC and the Rascals. Um, yeah, just one of the most consistent American tag teams of the past 20 years. The heart and soul of Impact Wrestling, and still a good year for Motor City Machine Guns. Number 17? Yeah, 17 is TMDK, Mikey Nichols, Shane Hayes. Now, this doesn't even include their World Tag League run, which so far has been great. But yeah, these two just have amazing chemistry. One of the better teams in New Japan's kind of weak tag division. How these two haven't become IWGP Tag Team Champions yet, I have no idea. But yeah, they're just consistent. Both men also had great runs in the G1. Shane Hayes having a great match with Tetsuya Naito. Mikey Nichols having a lot of hard-hitting matches with like Hinare, Eddie Kingston, Shingo Takagi, Tomohiro Ishii, etc., etc. And yeah, TMDK is um, probably the most underrated stable in New Japan. Shout out Robbie Eagles, who uh, had a great Best of Super Junior run, and of course, Zack Sabre Jr. And we'll be hearing about him quite a bit throughout this list. Number 16, ABC, the Bullet Club team of Chris Bay and Ace Austin holding down the Impact Tag Division, at least while Motor City Machine Guns were out, doing single stuff. Their rivalry with the Rascals was probably the best thing Impact had going tag team wise. Um, yeah, just consistent, underrated, great cruiserweight, light heavyweight style, and they have great chemistry. And yeah, so big ups for the ABC. 15 is the Usos. Big drop from number 6 last year. Of course, them breaking up in August is what kind of keeps them from the upper part of the list. But for the first half of the year, from December to uh, June, yeah, they were great. Still one of the best tag teams in the world when they are a tag team. Part of course, the amazing emotional story with the Bloodline. The match against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn was like an amazing PWG style American Indie match on WrestleMania in WWE. You don't get to see that too often. Their match against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa was another classic WWE main event style, slow, big moves, slow storytelling focused performance. And yeah, the Usos just are always having great matches throughout the tag team division. Which is why it's dumb that they split them up, because they're the best tag team of a generation, at least in WWE. 14, it's the Kingdom. Mike Bennett, Matt Taven. A lot of their work pretty underrated. Because A, They've been mostly comedy guys on main AEW television for the past couple months with Roderick Strong, which that stuff is amazing. Some of the best character work in AEW right now. Rarely get to show both men's comedic talents and just personality. But there's stuff on ROH, especially against Darius Martin and Action Andretti and Top Flight. Incredible. They had a great fight without honor match against Darius and Andretti. And yeah, in a weird year for Ring of Honor, Taven and Bennett were, consistently two of the top guys. All right, number 15, I think. I think this is number 15. We have the Best Friends, who. Oh, let me pull up my notes. No, this is number 13. Says Kingdom Best Friend. Yeah, this is number 13, actually. Sorry, Kingdom was 14, Usos were 15. Um, Best Friends, Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor. Uh, Great stuff when it comes to trios action with Orange Cassidy, their Stadium Stampede match. Don't get to be used as much as I really think they should be. They're, consistently one of the better tag teams in AEW's tag division. Through all the turmoil that division's been going through for the past 2 years, Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor are still holding it down, constantly having some great stuff. All right, at number 12 is going to be Top Flight, who, for that first half of the year, were just on fire. Their trios team with AR Fox, I mean, these two are just so incredibly athletic. They move so fluidly in the ring. They're still so young, they're both in their 20s. Yeah, great stuff. Sadly, of course, Dante getting injured in June or July with that nasty leg injury is what's holding them down. But Top Flight definitely put them on uh the radar going into 2024. Buy low, sell high for these guys. All right, number 11 is the trio, the Dream Team trio of Okada, Tanahashi, and Tomohiro Ishii. What's holding these guys back is just the fact that they don't wrestle as a trios that much. But when they do, I mean, obviously it's great. It's freaking Okada, Tanahashi, and Ishii. I think my favorite match with them was probably against against the Blackpool Combat Club team of Wheeler Yuta, Shota Umino, and John Moxley. That was probably their best work together. But there's just won these never openweight six-man titles against Strong Style in another great match. Specifically, Okada and Tanahashi had a great time against Bishamon, and it's like the three of the five biggest names in New Japan. Throw in Naito and Will Ospreay, I guess. But yeah, three of the five biggest names to New Japan. Five guys who will be showing up in my top 50 male wrestlers of the year. Pretty high for two of them. Yeah, I don't think there's much I need to say. Cracking in just barely into the top 10 is the Horsemen, who just tore it up in the independent scene in America against teams like Violence is Forever, the Grizzled Young Vets in DPW, uh, FTR. They had a solid match against One Collision, doing great stuff in Ring of Honor. This team is definitely one to look out for, similar to Top Flight. I wish I saw more of their work, but what I did see, it was incredible. Workhorseman, Anthony Everett, and JD Drake keeping it. All right, number 9, it's Catch 2-2, the probably the best team or the most consistent team in the junior heavyweight tag division in New Japan. Francesco Akira, only 25, has so much potential. TJP has been consistent with his work for a while now, and these guys they have a good match with everybody. They got a good little trio of teams in the junior heavyweight division with them, Drilla Maloney, and Clark Connors, and Intergalactic Jet Setters. The mixed match, kind of weird, but they work together well. Tag team of Kevin Knight, who's this uber athletic, super, still kind of green, but like clearly has a lot of potential in him. Watching them slowly get better throughout the year has been a joy. And the veteran of Kushida, this technical master, the high flying stuff mixed with the technical stuff is makes their matches really dynamic and um just good. So they're my favorite tag team in the junior heavyweight division right now. Uh, Obviously their work against Catch 22. I think they teamed with the Motor City Machine Guns. I don't remember who they faced off against with them. Work with Bullet Club. Yeah, just great stuff from Intergalactic Jet Setters. Now, number 7, the House of Black, the best trios champions AEW's ever had. Come in Revolution, I believe, is the first time we see them, and have that incredible match against the Elite, shockingly defeating them, and then just holding it down against all challengers, Top Flight and AR Fox, Metalik, Blake Christian, and I think Gravity, or maybe that was also AR. That was also AR Fox. Uh, Solid matches with the Acclaim and Billy Gunn. Just incredible stuff all around. Matches with FTR, throw them in there. Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews have both, and Malachi Black and Brody King both have been tag teams as well. Uh, the House Rules stipulation has been really fun, and I'm glad that Julia Hart is continuing that with her current TBS title run. Yeah, just great stuff from a team that doesn't always get as much screen time as they should. Just barely missing the top 5 is the current IWGP World Tag Team Champions, Bishamon. Really interesting story of Bishamon, of just like two guys who never quite made it to that top level spot that they feel like they were supposed to. I mean, Hiroki Goto got so close on like multiple occasions. He's basically as decorated as guys like Naito, Tanahashi, Okada, Ibushi, just without that one, run as world champion that he never got. And then Yoshihashi, who just never worked out. But then they combined together as a tag team in their later years, and they're incredible. They have amazing chemistry, great tag psychology. Yoshihashi's chops, just some of the best chops in the business. And yeah, just consistent. Any tag, like, they're the perfect World Tag League team because they just have great matches with anybody you throw at them. Um, yeah, incredible stuff. Number 5, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. They, of course, have now kind of split up um, as of like November, October ish. But that first most of the year, they were amazing. Of course, their run to starting off with the match against the Usos. That's a 5-star classic. Becoming World Tag Team Champions. Having great matches with the Judgment Day, the Tree Profits, Alpha Academy, Pretty Deadly. Their run as tag champs really kind of fell apart, um, eventually, which that sucks, but that first little bit, and they're still, like, the most popular, in the upper echelon of most popular baby faces. Their match against Roman and Solo Sikoa in Saudi Arabia with Sami Zayn getting that massive pop, um, was really cool. Just glad that these two can go off and hopefully become world champions, but for a year as this little tag team, I mean, they did pretty good considering they're in the top 5. Number 4, it's this one kind of cheating because it's 4 people. I try and keep it to 3, but it's the Blackpool Combat Club. Moxley, Danielson, Claudio. This is mostly Claudio and Yuta for most involved in the trios matches, but yeah, I mean, whether it's their work in New Japan against Ishii, Okada, and Tanahashi, it was their work all throughout against the Elite, throughout that whole feud going from the spring to summer in AEW to Yuta and Claudio. Just incredible stuff from them throughout the entire year. And you don't think of these guys as tag team wrestlers, but first off, Claudio Castagnoli is one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time. He's shown that in WWE. He continues to show that in AEW. Um, yeah, just consistent, great. Uh, just three top world title level talents. Also, Wheeler Yuta forming together just as these not quite baby faces, not quite heels. Brutal, physical, strike and mat work based style. Yeah, they're the Blackpool Combat Club. Come on. Again, you're gonna see these four throughout the rest of the award. Number 3, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. This is Aussie Open. I did not think that Aussie Open would be anywhere except for the top spot halfway through the year. The first half of the year was all Aussie Open. Sadly, I think it was Donkzilla. What the hell's his actual name? Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. Mark Davis getting injured was crippling to this team, and that really sucked. But that first half of the year, matches against Leo Rush and Tomohiro Ishii, which is such a wild tag team. You always forget that Leo Rush is part of Chaos because he's a heel in Impact. Um, Against Bishamon, an incredible match. Kyle Fletcher halfway through, bleeding from his head, literally needing to get bandaged up and still pushing through to deliver an amazing match. The match against FTR at Wrestle Dream, I believe. Yeah, just incredible. I hope that they get the chance to really shine more um, in AEW and they don't get as lost in the shuffle that they've kind of been in. But yeah, Aussie Open, easy number 3. Number 2 is the Young Bucks. I'm the biggest Young Bucks hater in the world, but god damn it, they are so good at pro wrestling. Starting off the year with the trios run, the 7-match series against Death Triangle along with Kenny Omega, the match against AR Fox and Top Flight, of course the House of Black match as well. Just based off that, the trios stuff was incredible. But then you get into the rest of the Elite versus BCC feud. You get into their match against FTR, uh, match against Jericho and Omega at Full Gear. Yeah, these two, they kill it every single time they're in the ring. Um, I just hate them. And number 1, FTR. Consider this retribution for me putting them 4th last year, while they have the best tag team run of all time. Thought I was an idiot a year ago. Do you know I said I called Masaru Misawa a New Japan guy? I know, sacrilege. Um, but yeah, FTR as far as this year goes, low key almost as good as their run last year. Beginning the year off kind of slow. They lose the AAA tag titles to Dragon Lee and I forget the other guy. Then they lose the New Japan titles to Bishamon in a great match at Wrestle Kingdom. Then they lose. Where's the other title they had? I thought they had another title. Triple. Oh, losing the ROH titles in an amazing match against the Briscoes. Again, 5 stars. Then kind of disappearing, coming back, beating the Guns in an alright match, and then just going on this nice little run in the first couple months of Collision. From like June to September, they were back to peak FTR, teaming with CM Punk briefly, uh, their great series against Bullet Club Gold, their great match against the Young Bucks in Wembley, their great match against Aussie Open at Wrestle Dream, bunch of great matches against like Roosh, and Dragon Dralistico, sorry. Um, yeah, they're incredible every time they step in the ring. Their amazing match against Adam Cole and MJF. Oh, holy crap, I completely forgot about that match while making this list. Yeah, FDR is the best tag team in the world. But honestly, Aussie Open, Young Bucks, and maybe Workhorsemen will definitely give them a run for their money in 2024. Top guys out. Top 5 feuds of the year is our next category. Most of these happen in AEW because I think AEW did some of the best work of any promotion this year. But number 5, we got Chad Gable versus Gunther. Every match they had, just slowly, Gable would get closer and closer to winning the Intercontinental Championship, but just never quite being able to topple Gunther because Gunther's when he's at his best, and he's the best professional wrestler in the world, and he just delivers this style that's so unique. And Chad Gable getting to shine was a highlight and made Raw the better WWE show out of Raw and SmackDown. Every match they had was great, building on each other. Just wish they capitalized off of the momentum Chad Gable got uh, more after the Gunther feud. Number 4, Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. Weird combined people, but Orange Cassidy's run as international champion is legendary. Genuinely one of the best title runs of the past 10 years. And Jon Moxley coming in as this bully monster bad guy to take the title off of Orange Cassidy. First off, by the way, the BCC Best Friends feud, which kind of begins this, also amazing. The Stadium Stampede match in Wembley, fantastic. Okada and Orange Cassidy versus, I think it's Danielson and Mox, or it might be Danielson and Claudio. Brilliant. Um, the All Out match was incredible, amazing main event, and the full year match was also not too bad. Orange Cassidy is just the best babyface wrestler on the planet, best underdog there is, and Moxley is just such a brutal, just decapitating Orange with those elbows and those lariats and those kicks and just the fire these two bring to their matches makes this one of the best AEW feuds of all time, in my opinion. As good as the next 3 AEW feuds, this one's not so much a feud as it is the story, the rivalry, and then growing romance between Adam Cole and MJF carried AEW through the summer, starting with a 30-minute time limit draw in their match, to them being forced to tag team together, to them slowly building this chemistry, MJF becoming babyface, which is something I never thought would happen, to their main event in Wembley, to us thinking Adam Cole was going to betray MJF, thinking he was going to, but choosing friendship instead, which is something you never see in pro wrestling. Their matches against FTR as a tag team were great. Fun match against Aussie Open. Both their singles matches were, of course, incredible. With both going to 30-minute time limit draws, but the second one, of course, MJF delivering the now iconic line, "We're gonna have a finish here in fucking Wembley," and restarting the match. Yeah, incredible stuff. Um, Definitely has kind of fallen off since then because of Adam Cole's injury, but most MJF feuds go a bit longer than they should anyway, so whatever. Number 2, Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland. God, they just wanted to kill each other. Really compelling story. I mean, when these two first came face to face, you could feel the energy. Like everybody was like, "Whoa, this is the next big feud." Um, Swerve Strickland trying to take that spot from Hangman Page, thinking he's not as hungry as he once was. Initially beating him by cheating at Wrestle Dream, Hangman not letting that slide. So Swerve makes it personal by invading his house, and then leading to a fucking brutal Texas death match at Full Gear. And we'll get into that match later, but like, Jesus Christ, that match was insane. Uh, some of the best work Hangman's done in his career, except for number 1, Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. That's right, Jon Moxley and Adam Page both show up twice on this list. What can I say? They just fucking hate people. This was set up in October of 2022, of course, when Moxley gave Hangman Page a concussion, a nasty concussion, in their uh, world title match, and then Hangman comes back, attacks Moxley. Moxley just being a cold-hearted monster about the whole situation, and then not sitting right with Hangman Page. Hangman delivers some amazing promo at the beginning of the feud about not being able to remember his son's name because he was so messed up from the concussion. They had like 3 matches, I believe, 2 on television, which were both fantastic, and then of course the rubber match with the Texas Death Match at Revolution. Then this would spread out into a broader Elite versus BCC feud, which saw Hangman rejoining the Elite. It saw the Blood and Guts match. It saw Kota Ibushi. It saw the return of Pac. Konosuke Takeshita's heel turn. The incredible steel cage match between Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. All of that spun off from this already incredible feud, little self-contained Hangman versus Mox storyline. And yeah, they're just the best. They're both my guys. Come on. Dishonorable mention to the worst feud of the year, Chaos versus House of Torture. I watch a lot of these New Japan tours, and especially in the first half of the year, if I had to see these motherfuckers fight each other one more time, I thought I was gonna throw up. Evil and Yujiro and Dick Togo and Sho versus Bishamon and Yo and Toriano. They all have anti-chemistry against each other. Hated this. Made me think that I hated House of Torture, which I don't. I just hate them when they go against Chaos for the 9th goddamn time in a row on the same tour, where nothing interesting, no story develops. God, I hated that. Top 30 women's wrestlers. Uh, this video is getting kind of long, but you know what? I kind of like that. Fuck it, we're having a long video. Top 30 women's wrestlers. Unlike the tag wrestling, this was like one of the best. The women's roster and women's division in multiple companies was on point. Impact still has probably the best women's booking in North America. WWE has done some damn good stuff. AEW, of course, is always hit or miss. Stardom is still excellent. Um, Number 30 is Mickie James. This is another first half of the year pick. And her last rodeo tour was great. Her climbing, basically going through everybody in the Impact Women's division to get to the world title. Treble matches with Deonna Purrazzo and Jordynne Grace, and also a solid match against Trinity. Yeah, the hardcore country. Mickie James, incredible that she's like 45 and still is wrestling like she's 25. Number 29 is on the opposite side of the age spectrum. Tiffany Stratton, who's kind of a rookie in NXT, really shined post Roxanne Perez's NXT women's reign. NXT is kind of cooking with their women's division with like Ladra Valkyrie and Kalani Jordan and others. Yeah, just solid stuff. I didn't see enough of her work to put her too much higher. I didn't watch that much NXT outside of the takeover shows. But her feud with Becky Lynch was great. And yeah, uh, she has a very good moonsault. Number 18 is Micah from Stardom. Hard-hitting bastard. And yeah, I don't think a lot of these Stardom wrestlers, it's like, yeah, obviously they're in the top 30. They kill each other every match. Just suplexes and kicks and I need to watch more Stardom. Number 27 is Masha Slamovich, who is probably the best women's wrestler in the Indies, even though she is signed to Impact. When I think of her, I think of a lot more of her indie work in like death matches in GCW, um, and other stuff. And also, her knockouts tag team run with Killer Kelly has been fun. Their feud, that ended in a dog collar match was great. Also, a lot of intergender wrestling with her against like Jacob Fatu and Blake Christian. Yeah, she's definitely one of the sleeper hits of 2023, if you ask me. All right, number 26. It's Jamie Hayter, guys. Nobody greater than Hayter. Listen, this list is everything from December to November, and he got injured in May and has been out since, and he still makes it on the list. That's how goddamn good Jamie Hayter is. That match against Hikaru Shida alone brings her up here. Other matches against Emi Sakura, Saraya, and Tony Storm, and Ruby Soho, and just God, I miss her so much, and looking at her makes me sad. So we're moving on. Number 25, Bailey. A really weird year has really picked up in the past 2 months with her character work here. Um, yeah, one of those just underrated stars of WWE's roster, male or female. Nothing like stand out incredible. The War Games match was a highlight, especially, but just always a solid hand in the ring, and I'm hoping for a 2024 big time run for Bailey. Um, she is the lowest ranked of the four horsewomen, in which Charlotte. Charlotte's a weird one because every pay per view match she's had has been incredible. Rhea Ripley match was great. Was like a 4.25 star match. A really good triple threat with Io Sky and Bianca Belair. Of course, the War Games match was incredible. Just a bunch of great pay-per-view matches, but if you watch any of her television matches, it is clear she just does not give a shit anymore. Just sloppy selling, weird bumps. She does this dumb, like, forward hamstring, or forward, what's it called? Oh my god, I'm blanking. Like, little flip into a clothesline, but, like, it has zero, like, oomph to it. Um, yeah, just bad television matches against, like, Shotzi and even, like, great wrestlers like Io Sky and Bailey. She just, something's, like, she's moving slow, freaking Will Ospreay at half speed still goes 2 times faster than Charlotte matches on TV, and just, yeah, weird, but still enough stuff to put her in the top 30. Where are we at? 23, Sky Blue, the rookie, who's been with AEW, I believe, since the start, but this year really stepped up her game. Just, yeah, every match, she would, like, for, like, 2 months straight, she would have a match every week on either Dynamite or Collision, and each time you could watch her getting better against, like, Britt Baker and, Saraya, and, Willa Nightingale, never Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm. Yeah, just slowly getting better and better, developing more of a personality. Um, yeah, it's the future's definitely bright for Sky Blue, and she has an obvious connection with the audience. And her matches are just kind of fun to watch. Um, Great finisher. Yeah, I'm very high on Sky Blue. Number 22 is the Futurosa, the ace of the Knockouts division in TNA, and that's Deonna Purrazzo. Just consistent. So consistently giving you a 3.75 star match every time she steps into the ropes against Jordan Grace and Mickey James and like she had like a 3 match series with Trinity, and all matches were great. She has sadly suffered an injury and has missed the last couple months, which keeps her further down. But still, yeah, she's the, she very much is that ace of the women's division in Impact. I can't wait for her to return. Hikaru Shida comes at 21. Another weird year, of course, starts off the time frame we're looking at with an incredible match against Jamie Hayter. Then she kind of disappears for a while until they need her to win the title again, and she kind of picks up where she left off with a couple of great matches. It's trying to really reestablish that women's title as a workhorse belt. The problem for Karashi is that every time she gets momentum and wins the title, someone else has like a breakout. It like breaks out into stardom, whether it was Britt Baker or this year it was Tony Storm. Um, Dropping it to Saraya and Wembley was dumb. But yeah, still just she's great in the ring. Um, and just consistent. One of the few AEW women's wrestlers that they feel comfortable just consistently putting in front of the audience, and she's great. Number 20, Utami Hayashida over in Stardom. Yeah, hard hitting. Great matches. This is just me listing names of great matches she's had against like Cerui or Julia, Tom Nakano, Mayu Iwatani. Stardom, I haven't watched too much this second half of the year, so my brain's kind of fuzzy on the specific highlights, but you tell me, yeah, she's easily one of the best in that company right now. Number 19, one of the other best in the company, Julia, who people really think is going to WWE or AEW soon, which would be interesting. Great match against Willow Nightingale. Starts off the year as the Stardom World Champion, which she beat. I think she beat Sarui for that belt. I think that was earlier in 2022. Uh, Incredible match against Tom Nakano for that belt. Good run as NJPW Strong Women's Champion. And I'm excited to see her be introduced to a new American audience going into 2024. We saw a bit with the New Japan Strong run, but seeing her in AW or WWE should be a lot of fun. Next, number 18 is I think she's like super young, Azume, who is in the high speed division, which is kind of Stardom's version of the New Japan Junior Heavyweight um area. Azume, how old is she? Yeah, she's only 21. She's one of the best youngsters in the game right now. And just great matches for the high speed title against a variety of opponents. Her trios match with it was um oh shit, it was Azume, Mercedes Monet, and I'm blanking on the third woman, but yeah, that match was great and just yeah, very good. All right, number 17, Emi Sakura, the queen of the Indies. Some solid stuff in AEW against like Chris Statlander, Hikaru Shida. Very much, she's a veteran and she's taught a good chunk of the younger talent. So she's someone you can rely on, just throw in to put over a youngster. But over in the Indies, she's also cooking. Great matches in the Revolver Women's Tournament that they had in DPW. She's currently the women's champion. Please, for the love of God, push her AEW in 2024. Everybody loves her. Like, she always gets a reaction when she gets a chance. So just, like, give her more chances and then make all of the money in the world, Tony Khan. It's not that hard. 16 is Chris Statlander, who returned in May at Double or Nothing, and her run as TBS champion was great. Really establishing that belt as a workhorse title. No, like, amazing matches. Nothing in like the 4-star range, but a bunch of really high 3-star matches. On Collision against like Julia Hart, Willow Nightingale. Um, who else? Who else? She definitely faced Ruby Soho in a really fun match at All Out. Or I think no, that was definitely All Out. Um, very fun match in Wrestle Dream against Julia Hart, and then another fun triple threat match with Julia Hart and Sky Blue at Full Gear in November. Yeah, I think Chris Statlander is probably my top contender to become AW Women's Champion in 2024. I think that's where I would put the future of that division if I was Tony Khan. Bianca Belair is number 15. Taking a bit of a back seat, which I think is smart. She was definitely becoming a bit over pushed in 2022, where she was number 2 for me that last year. Bianca's an interesting one because she's just so good in the ring, but like I just don't connect to her character like I do a lot of other women in WWE. Yeah, again, just good stuff every time she steps in the ropes. A great feud with Asuka, an incredible match at Backlash against Io Sky. That triple threat at SummerSlam made her look like a star even in defeat. Yeah, she might be taking a backseat to like Damage Control and even Charlotte, but still, she's one of the top women's wrestlers in WWE. Number 4. Oh, number 14, we got Rhea Ripley. That's different than it is in my notes. Rhea Ripley's weird because again, that match with Charlotte is so good, but like they just don't give her matches, you know. They've recently gotten a bit better with like Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark, which no disrespect to any of those women except for Nia Jax, but they're not on the level of Rhea Ripley, so it's frustrating because every now and then you see that she obviously has so much charisma, and every now and then you see that shine in the ring against like Charlotte or literally just Charlotte. But yeah, whatever. Number 13, Mayu Iwatani. Her match with Mercedes Moné was incredible. The Ace, the kind of, I don't, she's not old, but like, Stardom's only been around for 12 years, and she's been there the whole time. She's currently the IWGP Women's Champion. Always putting on great stuff. In Stardom, the most reliable women's wrestler in the world, in my opinion. So yeah. Number 12 is Kairi Sane, who recently returned to WWE. Of course, started the year off with that great match with who did she face in that Wrestle Kingdom match? I don't remember, for to crown the first ever IWGP Women's Champion, and of course the classic against Mercedes Moné in Battle in the Valley. And then doing really fun tag team stuff throughout Stardom. I think she won their trios belt, and that was fun. And then coming back to WWE and being probably the highlight in that War Games match, doing spinning back fists with a trash can lid. One of my favorite spots the whole year, honestly. Great stuff. Again, Kyrie, please have a big year going into 2024. But I think number 11 is Hazuki. Oh, this is the lady that I keep on forgetting. Hazuki, great match at Wrestle Kingdom with Kyrie, even though that match only went like 6 minutes. Did not get the time it deserved, considering it was crowning a new champion. She was the third woman in that Azime and Mercedes Moné match, I believe. Another young talent, also in the high speed division. Great matches for Starlight Kid as well. Um, yeah, good stuff. All right, number 10 is Io Sky, who's had a massive breakout year on the main roster, and I could not be happier about it because she was incredible in NXT, of course, incredible in Stardom a couple of years ago. Or I guess it's been a while, I guess, since she's. But yeah, comes in part of Damage Control, which hit or miss for most people, whatever, kind of bouncing around the tag division, and then boom, incredible match at Backlash against Bianca Belair, and then boom, wins the Women's Money in the Bank, cashes in SummerSlam, and just been all. She's just so cool. Like, she just has that cool factor that you can't replicate. Um, that triple threat at SummerSlam was very fun. Uh, yeah. Looking forward for more. Honestly, the biggest downside with Io Sky is that she is teaming up with Kyrie and Asuka, which means she's not fighting Kyrie or Asuka, which means we're not getting the best match combination you can possibly get in WWE's women's division. But yeah, Io Sky is like a massive success story for WWE this year, and it could not be happening to a better pro wrestler. Number 9, Mercedes Moné comes in at Wrestle Kingdom, shocks the world by debuting for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and you can tell she just loves Japanese wrestling and was just clearly so happy, and introducing this kind of like lucha libre inspired um, style into the Joshi Stardom promotion, made for a lot of very fun matches against, of course, Kyrie, the triple threat. A very underrated match against Will Nightingale and Stephanie Vaquer in that one night tournament, which is, of course, where she injured her foot, which derailed the rest of the year for her, which really sucked. But I'm just glad we got the great matches that we got while we could against, like, Mayu Iwatani. Still want to see her versus Julia. Still want to see her versus Toni Storm, even if it looks like she might be coming back to WWE. Number 8 is Toni Storm, who has reinvented herself as a character with this whole timeless Toni Storm thing, which has been great. The vignettes and the promos are incredible. The whole little black and white stuff. This woman who is so obsessed with the spotlight and the title that she's just gone crazy to try and get it. Um, Incredible stuff. Hope we get to see more of her in-ring work going into 2024. If we can find there's some sort of perfect balance between goofy, amazing character work and the incredible in-ring work of her Stardom, WWE, and early AEW days. If we can just find the perfect balance between that in 2024, I mean, she could be best in the world. Number 7. This one, what is this number 7? Okay. No, this is number 5. Damn. I missed some people. Number 5 is Sarui, who wasn't my number 1 last year, of course. Yeah, loses that title to Julia in December, I think. I think that still counts. Let's see the stats. 2 4-star matches, a 4.5-star match. I think there's Shisai Hashimoto. She had an incredible match with. Great tag team matches as a part of her stable. God's Eye. Yeah, Sarui's the best. Come on, put the title back on her. Number 4 is Asuka. Not a career resurgence, but Asuka's frustrating because she's as entirely her booking. It's not anything on her part. But she's hot, then she's cold. Cold for the beginning part of the year, and then she's hot as she has 2 incredible matches against Bianca Belair, wins the world title. Then drops it to Io Sky in that, of course, triple threat I keep mentioning. Then now she's cold again. But when she is on, she's one of the best wrestlers in the world, male or female. She's a perfect wrestler. Um, in her 40s, still going strong. Asuka is just the goddamn best. Number 3, probably the actual biggest success story of any women's wrestler this year. Of course, when it comes to getting over young talent, is Willow Nightingale, the babe with the power. First time I saw her entrance, um, with the clapping and the smiling and the coming down, and just probably the most fun entrance in pro wrestling right now for me. I knew it just clicked instantly. Um, the pounce is such a fun move. Uh, I love wrestlers that are obviously super big and strong, but can sneakily do all these incredible high flying moves as well. That's my perfect style. Or drop kicks and power bombs, and her baby face fire with pulling down the straps of the suspenders. Just such a likable baby face. Sometimes it's kind of hard to have a babyface powerhouse because obviously you want to root for the smaller underdog, quick opponent, quick wrestler, but Willow Nightingale's just so likable, goddammit. She's the best. And I'm so happy that she has had such success in AEW. Number 2, Tom Nakano. Uh, yeah, the current, easily the top star in Stardom right now. Just putting the company on her back recently, dethroning Julia for that Stardom World of Stardom Championship, and having a bunch of other great matches. She's the goddamn best. Only she's not the best because Athena is the best. Obviously, she's carrying all of Ring of Honor, the entire company, on her back, always having incredible matches. 2 great matches against Willow Nightingale. Of 2 very fun tag matches with Billy Stark versus Marina Shafir and Ronda goddamn Rousey. A great match against Kiera Hogan on ROH. Just every goddamn time. She's the best wrestler. It's comical how good she's been this year. Obviously, she deserves this number 1 spot so goddamn much. I'm recording this on December 9th. We got 6 days before that Ring of Honor championship match against Billy Starks, which I think will be amazing. Yeah, forever champ for a reason. God damn it. So there's the top 3 women's wrestlers. We're moving on to top 5 promotions. I'm gonna try and make this one quick because there wasn't one promotion that like cleared everybody else. CMLL. This would be higher if I watched more of it, probably, but like consistent. Love what they're doing, both working with New Japan, working with AEW, uh, guys like a great mix of like young talent with Atlantis Jr. and Zambrano Jr. and also the Living Legends. Good balance with that with like Mystico and Atlantis and all of them. Uh, is very just basic heel face dynamic in nearly every match. Rocky Romero is great, obviously. Titan is incredible. Just yeah, consistent, fun, wholesome, almost like nostalgic wrestling every single time you watch CMLL. Um, and it's introduced me to good lucha libre, which the other top Mexican promotion does not. Number 4 is WWE. This is one of their best years in 10 years. They're on fire with just a like bottom to top of the card, just incredible of the entire roster, just great stuff all around. Getting in their own way a lot of times with weird booking decisions. But when you have guys like Gunther in the Intercontinental title scene, Rey Mysterio in the U.S. title scene, Judgment Day, Sami and KO, the Usos, very healthy tag team scene, world title pictures where there's just like so many credible world champion caliber guys, whether it's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, obviously, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, now Randy Orton and CM Punk, LA Knight. I mean, that's 8 names right there. Um, a bunch of great up and coming guys like Santos Escobar, Dragon Lee, the DIY, Chad Gable. Just the list goes on and on. A very strong women's division as well. Yeah, this is the most healthy WWE has been in a long goddamn time, and I hope it continues with the upward trajectory. Number 3 is Stardom, similar to CMLL. Stardom's so good, man. It's so good. I love their tag league kind of thing they got going on every year. The Triangle Tag League, I think that's what it's called. Just such Joshi wrestling is so unique with all the kicks and the suplexes and the high flying moves, and Stardom is just the home to consistently the best women's wrestling in the world. No doubt about it. All you, all you internet wrestling fans that claim that you care about women's wrestling, if you actually did, you would be watching Stardom all the time, and I definitely want to watch more of it in 2024. Number 2 is AEW. This isn't number 1 because it has been a rebuild year. 2022 was such a mess for the company with CM Punk drama and injuries left and right, and in like what's it called, temporary champions or whatever. Tag team division kind of was messy. Trios titles being vacated. Just things did not go their way in 2022, and they really had to build back up, and they have done that successfully throughout 2023. Still not quite at the peaks of 2020 and 2021 for this company, but at its best, just put the company on Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson and Hangman Page's back while building up guys like Swerve Strickland and um, Nick Wayne has been a great addition. Kenny Omega and the Elite just kind of being misused has been a big hit. But like the BCC is great, consistently putting on fantastic matches every single week. There's usually a 4-star match on the card somewhere. Mishandling the women's division, of course. Samoa Joe, just a lot of great stuff from AEW, but still, this wasn't a flagship year. Number 1 is New Japan, kind of in the opposite way. I think this company is kind of fucked in 2024. Will Ospreay leaving to go to AEW. Oh, who knows what's going on with Okada. constantly getting in their own way by not allowing their legends to actually like continue to be main eventers. Like Hiroshi Tanahashi is not the man he was 5 years ago, but he can still go. So I don't know why you're still throwing him into random tag team matches. Same things like Ishii. Um, they're not fucking Hanma. You can still have them go. Uh, Same thing for Naito. Um, Sonata's world champion has also been hit or miss. Definitely not the flashiest champion, but very fun title defenses against like Hiromu and Yoda and all of them. Um, Okada kind of taking a seat, but being fun in this kind of like old bastard role, like he's become the veteran that he always used to despise against like Tanahashi. Bullet Club slowly rebuilding with the absence of Jay White. I mean, look at the guys that have left that company in the past couple years, and it's insane that they're still the best company in the world right now. I mean, they lost Jay White in just in a couple years. Jay White, Shibata, Ibushi, about to lose Osprey, lost Aussie Open halfway through the year and had to and now have to completely realign their tag team division, losing the Elite. Just roster is constantly getting butchered, but they know what they're doing. Incredible junior heavyweight division. The never openweight title has been very fun with Tamatanga and Shingo Takagi and David Finlay. Heavyweight stuff is still on point. Very clear long term vision with Naito winning the G1. Yeah, so 2024 post Wrestle Kingdom might be rough, but for now, New Japan Pro Wrestling is the best promotion in the world. Let's talk about the bad promotions. There's only two. The Dog Shit Stupid Dumb Promotion Award. This goes to NWA and AAA. Think of NWA. What a dog shit promotion. People will say, oh, enjoy all wrestling. Don't do all this tribalism. Motherfucker, Matt Cardona or EC3 and Tyrus was a world championship match this year. Fuck that. I'm not watching that. I'm not enjoying that. NWA is in the toilet. Had a lot of potential a couple years ago with like the now Eli Drake, who's now LA Knight, and Nick Aldis, and all of them. But yeah, Tyrus as world champion was such a universally dog shit decision. Easily the worst matches of the year were him against Cardona and him against EC3. Because the man just couldn't move, let alone bump and move around in a wrestling ring. Their women's division also had potential a couple years ago, but it's now kind of just whatever. And then AAA, fucking just a weird division, weird. Alberto El Patron is there. Why? A bunch of old guys just kind of fumbling around. A bunch of guys who you're clearly like they can't go. And there were some highlights. Penta and QT Marshall and Commander, and of course El Hijo del Vikingo as their world champion. Um, and bringing in AEW guys and Impact guys like Rich Tron, Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland. But like, I feel like all the good parts about AAA come from people who are kind of trying to not associate themselves with AAA. Like Vikingo and Commander are their two top champions. They're basically WWE guys, or they're basically AEW guys. Dragon Lee wins their tag titles, then instantly says he's going to WWE. Just bad stuff from AAA. Top 50 matches. This is where we will pick up in the next part. That's right, this is a 3-part series, motherfucker. Bye.